Good afternoon and welcome. Let's take a look at our top story this hour. The Hong Kong protesters took to the streets demanding a greater democracy on Christmas Eve. As protesters refused to stop in China's autonomous region, the business in Hong Kong are facing the brunt. On the eve of Christmas, many shops have been reported to downward trading in this holiday season. As traffic is severely affected by the protests, retailers are saying that there are fewer people going out shopping.
今年係特別厲害嘅，因為社運之後咧，人流係真係少咗好多。本地人消費嘅習慣係因為受到嗰個交通影響咧，我哋零售業係跌得好犀利。尤其是我自己本身都好多熟客嘅，都差得好犀利。咁如果你話真係相對比以前嚟講跌幾多咧？如果幅度係真係以30%咁去計，咁其實呢幾年都開始差嘅，不過今年係特別差。咁我諗都唔會有咩機會話。
As anti-government rallies escalated into chaos, the riot police clashed with the protesters in shopping malls. Protesters inside the malls threw umbrellas and other objects at police, who responded by beating some of the demonstrators with batons and threatening the crowds with guns. Police fired rounds of tear gas at thousands of protesters, many wearing masks and reindeer horns. Police tried to disperse the crowds, trying to block the traffic and roads in front of luxury hotels. Many families with children had congregated in the area to view the Christmas lights along the promenade, and there was a heavy police presence into the night, with hundreds of officers standing guard on the roads. The protests have now entered their 7th month, and police have arrested more than 6,000 people since the protests escalated in the month of June. The Civil Human Rights Front has organised some of the biggest marches and are trying to stage another march on New Year's. Journalist and special correspondent for the LA Times and Washington Post, Ryan Ho Kilpatrick, is live with us. Now, good afternoon to you. What is the situation like on the ground?
Well, today has been relatively quiet after there were massive protests on the streets last night on Christmas Eve that lasted all the way from early evening until the early hours of this morning. Today there were further protests planned in shopping centres around Hong Kong, but that has largely failed to materialize, especially because of the extremely heavy riot police presence in shopping districts and shopping malls all throughout the city today.
Now, the clashes are happening obviously during this festive time. What does this indicate?
Well, this indicates that the movement for democracy in Hong Kong is far from over. It has entered a lull recently in the past month, but last night was the first time in weeks, in this month of December, that police did use water cannon and tear gas against protesters. So they're trying to send the message that despite the relative lull in actions that has occurred, especially after the elections recently in November, in which pro-democracy candidates won by landslide, that their movement is far from over and that they're not forgetting their comrades who were arrested and will keep fighting on the streets, fighting for the 5 demands for amnesty for their comrades in the movement and for accountability for the police and an elected government.
Thank you for that report.